Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away, and we've got a bit of a marathon going on today because we're going to be doing the next 8 episodes, which is basically stages 27 to 34 of the Fanhome release of Build the Fast and Furious Dodge Charger. You heard me right, 8 episodes. It's not like there isn't a lot to do as well. In the first stage, we're doing some more of the engine surround, which we worked on last time. We've also got to take the wheels off the car again, which is a little bit weird. Let me just show you what we did get up to last time. If you remember, we were working on this surround here. We're going to be continuing that today, ready for it to go into the engine, which looks like this that we've had at the moment. Obviously, the surround's going around here. But as I said, we will have to take these tyres and wheels off, which is a bit weird. That's because we need to put a plate in there for the engine surround. But if you want to get this for yourself, I've put the link down here to the Fanhome website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. I can't wait. 8 issues. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So in issue 27, we've got some more of the engine housing here, and we're going to be attaching that to the chassis. Bring over the housing that we've been working on before, and we're also going to need the window wiper motor, which looks like this. And that's just going to fit into this point at the top. The big hole at the top is what's going to fit this lug just in here. So when we put this in, it's going to look like that. And that's going to be held in with CM screws. And you know what I'm going to say. CM screws going into metal, put it in a little bit of oil. So that's the first one, and that's the second one. So the motor is installed. Now the next thing we're going to install is the voltage regulator, which looks like that. That's just going to go into the 2 holes that we can see here. And that one doesn't have to be screwed in, it's just a push to fit there. What we're going to do then is take the lead that's coming from the battery terminal here, and that's going to be going into the right hand pin of that regulator there. So I'm just pushing that on slowly till it's all the way in. There we go, we've got the battery lead connected. We can turn this upside down because we're going to be attaching these side pieces on now, and these are going to be going into the holes that we can just see there, or the lugs we can see there. So if I put one on this side, give you an idea how that looks. That's that one in. Do the same on the other side here. Now, to know what way round they go, this notch here needs to be closest to the open section. So as you saw there, I had it on the wrong way. So this one's going on this side here. That's more like it. I'm happy now. I'm glad I figured that out right now before we went ahead. That's going to be held in with AM screws. So it's 2 AM screws each side. One here. And once again, just to advise you, if it's going into metal, it's implied that I've put it in oil. I don't need to show you that each time. How the devil is everybody on this, what day is it today? Wednesday morning. I was only going to do 4 issues of this today, but I changed my mind when I saw exactly what we have to do. There's quite a lot to actually extend the vehicle out. So I thought we'll make a meal of it, and we will do every single one that I've got up to now. But there we go. That's those side pieces in. So that looks like that. So now we're going to be bringing the vehicle over with the engine looking like that. We're going to be dropping this into place. This is going to go this way round, probably best on side camera. We've got a hole here, which is going to be going into the steering rod arm there. Just put the other side in, and there we go. That's that housing in place like that. You want to make sure that the arches, which are just behind the wheels there, are on the outside. The frame is on the outside of this housing section here. But that's in place. We're going to need to fit this into place, which means using AM screws. So we turn this upside down, just like this. I've got some AM screws here, and the first points, we've got 2 points at the front there, and then we've got these 2 points just at the back. So I'll put one of the front ones in first. That's the first one in. Then I'm going to do the opposite corner just down the bottom here. Now I know that's definitely kept in place, so I can move this over. It's not going to move now. I'll do the one just on this side here. And the last one is just going to be in this top corner up here. Now we've got a lead here, which comes from the alternator just at the back here. And that's going to go onto the other pin of the voltage regulator where we put the battery. So I'm going to get my tweezers for this. I don't know if you can see this on the camera here. And just put that over that pin. Just hold this nearer the end there. Just keep wiggling. Just keep wiggling. And there we go. That's in place like that. Now this here is the brake power booster. So what we need to do is find the free ends of the brake cables, which if you turn upside down, you'll be able to follow those. And that is pretty much hard to see, but basically they feed through this hole at the side here, those cables, and then they just connect, as you can see, just onto the pins here. Now this is where things get a little bit weird. They want me to take the tyres off, which we just put on in the last stage. So here's the first one. Just take that off. Matter of fact, I should have done that first, because that would have made putting on the putting on those brake pipes a lot easier. Oh, it is what it is. Okay. Now using the AM screws, which I've got here, dip that in oil. These housing parts that we've got here, this curve shape here, are going to be just secured to the engine housing. It's going to take 3 screws each side. Now before we put these back together, we have got these anchor bolts to put in. So where we put 3 screws in around here, we need to put an anchor bolt just there like that. That's held in with an NM screw. These are longer than the other ones. So basically it's 2 AM, 1 NM on this. Let's get that around the right way. And there we go, that's the anchor bolt in place, which means then I can put the tyre back on. See, I make mistakes, so you don't have to, because it means I've got to do the same thing on the other side, because I forgot to do it. And that is all there is to do at that stage. We do have some more brackets here, which aren't used in this stage, they're used later on, so we need to keep them safe. So in stage 28, we're going to continue with the engine housing by doing the open side here. We've got some pieces to attach to that into place, and then when that's done, it should look just like that. So the first thing we need are these 2 sections here. They're actually going to make the horn. And if you follow the picture, they're going to go a certain way round. I'm just going to put this in because it is like a keyhole pattern, so it can only go one way, but the horn is going to look like that. It's going to be held together with an CM screw, which we've got left over from the last stage we did. Now if this is the section that we're going to be working on, this is going to be hanging down at an angle just at the top here. So we need to screw that in with an AP screw. I think what's going to be best for this one is to line it up first. It goes this way round, by the way, not that one. It's the one with all the tabs hanging out. Put this in where it's going to go. Remembering that the horn is at an angle there. And there we go, that's in place, looking like that. And then in this hole here, put the locating lug in the larger hole. This is just expansion tank is going to go in there. Once again, held in with an AP screw. Put that in here. There you go. And then I'll get my tweezers out here because we've got a pipe just to put into that. Going into the top, hold it right near the end this, and then just wiggle it, and then that will fit all the way down there. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So stage 29 now. As you can see, we're going to start assembling the radiator. We've got all the pieces for that here. Getting the radiator together, putting that on the wall of the housing that we've just created, and then we're going to be putting this into the vehicle. So the first thing we want to do is take the two pieces of the radiator looking like this, put them down like this. We're going to just line them up together, just seeing if it goes in a certain way round. As you can see, we do have two cutouts in the bottom section here, and this is the bottom section of the radiator here. So this is going to be going this way round like that. I'm going to secure this together with 4 AP screws all around the edges here. Make sure you get it in the right one down the bottom. You've got 2 holes here. One of those is going to be for a pipe later on. We're then going to be attaching the cap, which is comprised of 2 pieces here. We've got this one, which is like the thermostat there. That's just going to go onto the pin at the top there. Just like that. And then we've got the cap, which is going on top of that section to keep everything into place. Now that pin there on the radiator needs to be facing the back section here, not the front. So we can bring over the housing, and then with the back section facing up, we're going to be lining this up to where this goes on here. And that's going to be secured in once again with AP screws in the 4 holes that we can see each side. So one there, and we just continue going all the way around. Now I'm very encouraged to see that this has got a retail release, and I believe at the time of filming this, issue 3 is now available in your newsagents. So if you do want to get hold of this and you didn't want to have one of the monthly subs, you can get it weekly from your newsagents, which is very handy. But there we go, that's in place. Put that to one side and bring over the vehicle again. We want to turn it upside down, and they want us to take off this whole panel here, cross section that we put in. I'm a little bit confused why we do this. I have to say, we're putting things in and then having to take them off again afterwards. Don't mind telling you, I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone with that. But there you go, get this piece off just like that. We're going to be turning this all the way over again like that. We've got 2 pipes to put in. Now the first pipe is going into the top peg that you can see just on top of the orange engine block there. So I'll get this in and show you what that looks like. There we go, that's in like that. And the bottom one just comes off the peg, which we've got at the bottom of the engine block here. And that fits in just like that. Now we get to mount the radiator, and that's going to go over these pegs here. Just lining everything up. And when we do that, we want to put these pipes into the holes that we've got in the radiator. So I'll do the bottom one first. Now I'm telling you, that wasn't easy, but we've got to put an screw just into some points down the bottom, which holds this panel into place. Now it's very hard to see one of them because it's actually down this side of the vehicle. So I'm using my torch to make sure that that is lined up, and I'll get that side in. And then I'll do exactly the same just with the other side here. That was really hard too, but as you can see, that's in. I can't believe how hard that was to get in. But there you go, radiator's in. Now the pipe at the bottom is connected. I'm just going to connect this one at the top to the hole that we've got at the top here. And that made it a little bit harder for us, but there we go. The pipes are both in at the bottom and the top there. What we're going to do then is turn it upside down and reattach the brace that we took off, which goes in here, just lining everything up, and that's going to comfortably keep all of that in place. So just to remind you, that's 2 AM screws there, and then a CM screw just down the middle section here, and that's in place as well. Turn it back over. Now I don't know if you noticed that my cap came off, so I'm going to put the cap back on. And then at the side here, as you see, we've got these points just here. Hopefully one of the cameras can see it there. We're going to just put some EM screws in there, and that's going to hold the top section of that into place. And once again, I will drop these in a little bit of oil because they are going into metal. So that's the one on this side. Turn it over and we'll do the one on the other side. And there you go. That was hard, but that's all there is to do in that stage. Stage 30, nice simple one. We've got a floor pan to attach to extend the chassis of the vehicle out here. And that's all we've got to do. So let's bring this up. Now, you know that old adage of me forgetting to put things in? Well, I forgot to put these little mounts in. They just push into the front of the engine. So make sure you do that. These were from stage 27. They're just going to go onto the front of the housing, as you can see in this picture here. As you can see, massive section, this one, looking like that. But we'll bring the vehicle over, and then all we have to do is offer this section just underneath this section here. So it's going to go in like that, and then that's going to be held in, when I've got it lined up, there we go, that's going to be held in with the LM screws which come in this pack. Again, this is going to be something you want to make sure is in really tight, because this is holding the whole structural integrity of the vehicle. So I have put these in oil, and I'll get these in as tight as I possibly can. So basically it's being held in by 3 LM screws each side. So that's the left side done, and now I'll just finish and do the right side. And there we go, that's all in place. Just show you how big that's getting now. Looking like that. That's all there is to do in that stage. Stage 31, we're extending even more. We're going to be adding another section to this. So we're going to be putting a tab just into this and extending this onto the vehicle. So in the end, it looks just like that. Now, this is what that looks like. It's metal again, looking like this. The first thing we're going to have to do is we've got some jack mount brackets here, which have got a closed side on one side. We want the open sides to be in the middle. These are just going to go here. So we're going to have one this side. And when I get this on, one the other side just here. And they're going to be held in with KM screws. So I'll screw these completely down, show you what that looks like. And there we go, that's those 2 jack points in place. And then we're going to add this to the vehicle, bring that over again. And this time, this section here, of course, it's hard to manipulate this. It's just going to be fitting over the top of this section, just like that, held in with LM screws. Once again, 6 LM screws. So I'll put the middle one in first. Just like that. And then you've got pretty much every hole that we can see along this band here. Now, having this complete chassis in the vehicle here is it's an eye-opener to how big this thing actually is. It's ginormous. And there we go, that's the rear section in. And now we've got a ginormous, absolutely ginormous vehicle chassis. Now, stage 32, we're just going to be working on the exhaust here. We've got some exhaust just to put together like this. Once we've got a complete section there, it's ready to go onto the bottom of the vehicle. So quite simply, this time we're going to take the 2 parts of the exhaust and we're just going to piece them together. So they become one part, just like that. Now we've got screw holes in here to hold these together. And here we've got some AP screws. So we'll get this screwed in and this will make one complete part. I think I'll do the middle ones first. Now, there is an illustration which shows you where this is going to go on the vehicle, but they don't actually want this put on the vehicle at the moment. So that is all there is to do in that stage. Okay, the penultimate issue, issue 33 of this stage, we're going to be putting some more exhaust sections together, just like last time, with muffler to go on it as well. So at the end, we've now got 2 other exhaust sections here. And the first thing we're going to do is going to take this section of the exhaust, and we've got these mounting brackets to actually put onto place. Now these are going to go into this section here. There is sort of like an indent on there, which is going to show us where to put this. I'm going to attach that with an AP screw. Make sure that's lined up correctly, so that looks like that. We've got a longer one to put in, and that's going to go onto this middle piece just here. They do have a certain way round so that they sit flush to this pipe. And then that's those two pieces in, looking like that. We then got a muffler to put in the end, and it goes this way round. You can see that on the close-up camera. That's going to be held in with a slightly different screw. That's an EP screw, and that's all the way in. And when we're happy with everything that we've got in place, we're going to close that off with the top section of this to piece that together and hold that together once again with the AP screws. And it's going to take 4 of these in total, 2, 3, and 4. So that completed section looks like that. We've just got to do exactly the same on the other piece. So there you go. That's 2 of those completed, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 28, as you can see here, we're going to be putting some boxes onto these exhausts and then attaching the exhaust into the vehicle just like that. So to put these in, what you've got to remember is that the exhaust is actually going to be this way round on the engine. So this is the left side, this is the right side. So we want to take the box which has got an L for left side in, and this is basically going to be going onto this point just here. And that's going to be held in with an AP screw. That's that. I'm going to do this all in one go so that it's slightly breaking away from the instructions here. But it just makes sense if I'm building this completely together here. Here's the right hand side one. And that one's in. And then we're going to be putting these other parts of the exhaust in this side. So one in here. One in the other side. Excellent. And then all we're going to do is we're going to close off these boxes by putting the like boxes on top. So one there, this way round, one here, turn it upside down. And both of these boxes are held in, once again, with AP screws just into those 4 holes. So when that's done, that's going to look just like that. We're going to bring over the chassis and turn it upside down. Just like that there. And now I'm going to attach this into the engine. So these points here are going to go into the holes at this end. 1, 2. I'm going to line up the screw holes here. 1 and 2. They're in place. The middle one's in place. The ones on this side are in place. And almost the ones in the back are in place. So to secure all of these down, we're going to be putting AP screws in pretty much every hole that this is in. So I'll start with the front. I'm actually going to do it on its side. So it's probably best to look at the pictures because I know you're not going to be able to see this. But I'm going to get all of the AP screws in which are holding this exhaust into place. And I'm basically just working my way down the exhaust system here. And every time I see a join, like there's one here, I'm putting a screw in. So as you can see, that exhaust is fully into place there, and that is all there is to do in that stage. Now we do have a couple of bits left over, which is just this clip and this lead, but they're not actually used in this pack. So there we go. That's 8 stages completed. That was a challenge, you know. Some of them were a lot harder than they looked. I looked at the instructions and I thought, you know, this is going to be an easier one. And the easiest ones tend out to be the hardest. Definitely putting the radiator on was quite fiddly. The exhaust as well, attaching that to the vehicle, did take some manipulation, but we got there in the end. But it's looking good. Let me just show you this, how we got at the moment. So it's looking all like that. And I'll just take off these bits that we need to keep safe. That's what it looks like from the bottom. And I've just noticed that once again, I'm probably going to glue this on. My radiator cap has once again come off again. So I've put that back in as well. But that's all there is to do in that stage. So I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, we're doing good. We're up to 46% now of the people who watch this video aren't subscribed. Do me a favour, click that subscribe button. I will be really appreciative if you could do that. I'm trying to get to 50,000 and we're just about to break 45,000. So we are getting there. But I would really appreciate any support you could give. Other than that, take care.